Good evening, guys. Stealth here. Welcome to Sea Power. Finally, the wait's over. The game is actually released, and that means you can all play it. So, today I am streaming this for, well, essentially those who can't watch it. Not right now, because some of you might still be, well, stuck in an office, or at work, or on your lunch break. So, this is gonna be me playing the game for you, so that you can still enjoy it remotely, by proxy, if you will. First, we're going to have a bit of a choosing between what sort of scenario you want to play. So let's set up a poll, and let's see what sort of site you want to see. NATO or Soviets? NATO, Soviets. So, you can now vote. What scenario would you like to see? You want to go blue or red, because both of the sides have some pretty interesting scenarios. And of course, if you're unhappy with the scenarios that are currently in the game, or you want to get additional ones, you can do that through the Steam Workshop. Once you have it selected and subscribed to in the Steam Workshop, of course, Steam's going to download it. And after that, you can find it in Mod Manager. So over here, it'll say Workshop. If you have that ticked on, and then go Accept, the game is going to reload, and it's going to automatically allow you to do that mission, which will then show up generally over here under the, well, it's a bit less clear than I was hoping for. These are the missions that you can see from the workshop, but I would like them to build a tab that says other, for example, workshop. Because other is, I don't know, you're not playing red, you're not playing blue. Like, you're not NATO, you're not Warsaw, but for example, the Battle of Latakia or Borderline, you're playing Indonesia versus Pakistan, I think? Yeah, Pakistani naval fleet. So you got all sorts of options. I'm seeing quite a decent amount of votes for NATO at the moment. So let's have a look at an interesting NATO scenario. I have played most of the missions, and well, there's quite a few good ones. Do I have any tips on how to deal with crashes after 20 to 45 minutes? I have had them too. And that's annoying. Those crashes or the game freezing up, it happens. And I think it's partly because the game isn't fully optimized yet. That seems to eat into the RAM quite a lot. After a while, the game gets really hungry, and it just crashes the game because of it. Let's see. Prime chance. US Army and Navy Special Ops Forces are tasked with safeguarding neutral shipping in the Persian Gulf, in the midst escalating tensions between Iraq and Iran. Sounds interesting. Let's have a look. Operation Prime Chance. Let's go. And end the poll. We got about 57 to 60 on NATO, so let's go with that. I haven't played the scenario yet, so I'm kind of going in blind. I don't exactly know what we're going to find, so I am as interested as you might be. Let's have a look. We got a Vulcan. Okay, interesting. Some of these missions, as far as I'm concerned, aren't quite finished, because I would like to see a pop-up right about now saying, hey, this is what you need to do. That's how at least I have scripted my missions. So that way you at least know what is going on. What do we have? We have the Sahar, which is a transport. We have the Al-Qasim. Over here we have... Is that a Belknap? Belknap class cruiser. We have the Roberts. Oliver Perry. We have the Reuben James. Yes, that Reuben James. If you've read or listened to Red Storm Rising, it's that one. We have the Thatch, which is another Perry, and the leader is the Bellow Wood. Interesting gear. There's also SSN Philadelphia down here. And by the time that we're expected to arrive, it's in 22 hours from now. That's a hell of a drive. I'm not sure what these Vulcans are actually doing out here. So, yeah. Thank you for the good content. Yes, Slenderman, I appreciate that. Glad you like it. As for Titan, can you tell me how the drop tanks work? The drop tanks essentially work automatically. They work in a way that... wait, they changed... Hold on. The drop tanks are generally things that you don't have to manually drop. Unless you're going into combat, the aircraft's just going to carry them. and that means that the aircraft has more range. When you have, for example, an aircraft in the sky and you tell it to go after, I don't know, this F5, it will drop its tanks and it will thus increase speed because it has less weight, but you'll also have less range. I don't quite like the mechanic because I want to see my planes have more fuel, but again, having a lighter, faster plane can of course be useful in a combat situation. Anyway, back to this mission. I just noticed that the Bellewood has no Harriers. Then what good use are you? Because AH-1Ts, they're nice for close air support. They got air-to-air? Okay then. Needs must, I guess. So we're going to launch a couple of helicopters, which are armed with AIM-9s. It's a bit of a weird option, but if we have the option, I'll take it. Our opportunity to get here is definitely going to get hampered by that F5 and company. You are any number of things. Okay, let's see if they want to talk. Turn this on. They do not respond. Maybe they're too far away, but I kind of doubt it. Delta Warship. Wondering where you can maybe get the soundtrack of the game. I don't know. As far as I know, they haven't made the soundtrack of the game available yet, so I'm not sure how you can get that. But yeah, the soundtrack of the game is good. I can definitely see you listening to that. For example, during work or during some sort of focus stuff. Hold on. We got more radar contacts coming in. If they're this close together, they're definitely hostile. 544 knots. Okay. Yeah, bandits. Imagine that. Edit formation. I'm going to keep the McCluskey and the Thatch over to that side. Reuben James too. The Roberts was another Perry. We basically build a wall on that side. And we got the Stanley, which is also going to move to that side. So we're going to protect the aircraft carrier as best we can. Our helicopters are preparing for takeoff. This is going to be an interesting way to use the AIM-9s. Of course, they cannot keep up with the plane at all. So I guess the best way to use them is fly them into the path of the plane. And then see if they want to launch that AIM-9 at an altitude of 20,000 feet. Okay. Oh, the soundtrack is on Steam as a DLC. That's nice. That's very nice. You've downloaded my missions, NM Racing. Good luck. I hope you'll find them fun. Some of them can be cheesed, if you so want. I would recommend against it, because it does take away from the fun of the mission. 10,500. Colt 2, go to 10,500. For those of you just tuning in, welcome. I am playing a mission where at least I have to defend against a couple of F5s, and we have to make it to this home free point. There are probably more aircraft coming in, and at the moment I don't really have an answer to that, except this. That's just strapping an air-to-air missile onto a helicopter. And I was expecting Harriers, but the Bellewood doesn't have those. So that's a bit unfortunate. We're going to have to get the Al-Qasim and the Sahar over to the extraction point. I'm going to just make those part of the formation. I think that is the easiest way to go about it. Join the formation of the Bellewood. And then we're going to position them in the formation such that they're fairly close. Hold on a second. One of you is not part. Where's the... Oh, there's the Sahar. Come on, get over here. I'm going to keep these behind my protected wall of surface-to-air missiles. And gotta make sure that they don't... Well, they just don't sneak around. That's what I would do. I would sneak around and attack them from behind or from bow on so that they don't really have that much of an option. Okay, so what do we have? F5s? Likely another F5. Assume hostile. From what I can tell, they're just packing bombs. Most likely Mark 82s. So their range is very limited, these Iranian jets. Doesn't make them less dangerous, because they can still probably wipe out an aircraft in one go. But I do want to shoot them down before they get that opportunity. Let's have these guys go forward. We got Colts 1 and 2 airborne. Ordered altitude 10,500. They're currently at 2,200, so they'll be there sometime next week. I'm going to tell this thing to go weapons free. The range of that AIM-9 is what, 5? 9.8 miles. That's not bad, actually. Okay. Yeah, let's do more unorthodox warfare. Air-to-air loadout. They don't seem to be joining a formation, so I'll just launch them separately. And we're just going to fly a whole lot of AH-1s into the enemy. Well, not literally into the enemy, but at least closer to the enemy, and see if we can launch a couple of our AIM-9Ls at them. Scott, you were coming to find a new Sea Power video, and here I am, yes. There are a bunch of new Sea Power videos on the channel, by the way. All the tutorials are up on my channel and the one from Microprose, so you can pick where you want to watch it. And making those tutorials was actually not that simple, because there is so much that you need to cover. So many intricacies, so many details, so many things like, oh yeah, but in this case you might want to do that. So there was a lot of, well, consideration of going, okay, do I include this, or should I talk about that, or oh crap, it's already going over 30 minutes. I need to cut some things. And then of course I had recorded, for example, the electronic warfare tutorial, and the developers went, oh, yeah, about that electronic warfare, let me just slash the range by, I think they cut 100 miles off of it, because the jammers were way too efficient. There is a lot of hostile air about. Oh, there's another. 900 miles, you're not an airliner. And you? 35,000 feet. You could be an airliner, you could be something else. Paul, I'm happy to see that the tutorials helped get into the game. What's the mission? Tristan, we are escorting a couple of ships here. This is the Al-Qasim and this is the Sahar. We need to escort those to the home free point. This is one of the vanilla scenarios. And of course the Iranians have a slightly different opinion on the matter, as they are attempting to make clear with the use of a couple of F5s. Those are coming in, and seeing as I have no Harriers on the Belleau Wood, which is my lead ship over here, for some reason, we're just packing helicopters, so I've decided to go with helicopters. And those helicopters are all packing 2 AIM-9Ls, if they are able to get lucky, because that's basically what we're doing. Hoping that they get close enough, then great. If not, then, well, they're just going to fly probably up until the point where they expend all their fuel and come home. You tried the Yak-38s. What a horrible plane. Yeah. I really didn't like those. They can fly almost... Well, they have almost no duration. They have no endurance. And beyond that, they have horrible loadouts. Helicopter air patrol, yeah, exactly. Go to 10,500 feet, which are an AH-1 is probably ambitious. 10,500. So, hold on, I got a range of about 10 miles, right? Ooh, that's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. You guys are weapons free? I'm gonna have Colt 3 also go over there. If this works, this is gonna be funny. Weapons free. You're gonna take a position there, you're gonna take a position there. The other ones are also coming in, so they will also deserve a treatment. Go to weapons free. I hope that they don't change course too much, because that would thwart my plans. I hope that one thing that's added is the 8-inch heavy cruisers. Yeah, I think having more gun-focused cruisers would be interesting, especially for the earlier tiers. Let's say the earlier dates. I also would like, in the mission editor, the ability to very quickly select, okay, I want to have ships up until this point. And that way, you can not accidentally add, like I did in the Bay of Pigs video, ships which have way too much firepower. such as harpoons in that particular mission. Okay, Colt 9 standing by. I think it'd be even better if we can shoot down those F5s with a Hydra, but that might be pushing it. Go to 10,500. Weapons free. I think we might actually get him. Are there no current ships for China? I believe there are not. Or very, very few. So, I think the Chinese Navy will get added at some point when they get around to it. The devs have a lot that they still want to add. And they can only add so many things at one time. Given that I have the Philadelphia out here, I'm curious to see what use she's going to be. She's quite far away. What, 100 miles? Okay, we're gonna go to periscope depth. I'm gonna raise the ESM mast for a couple seconds and see if there's anything pinging with radar. Shooting it down with a Hydra, yes, why not? Well, these guys are actually getting up to 8,000 feet now.
Birds away, track.
Birds away? Oh, you already got a rim in range. Hey, whatever works. The Rim 2F has a range of what? 60? 40. Okay. Just being able to figure out what sort of range weapons have is definitely taking a while. But that goes for most games. Okay, you're locked onto the 7001, and you're going for 7009, which is their wingman. Excellent. As for these other... They're getting awful close, but, well, they're just bomb carriers. They're not really going to be that problematic. If this was a harpoon, they would have already been launched and go way, way, way home. So I would not have been able to catch them. There's the two streaks. They said somewhere the UK is going to be a DLC. I can get behind that, yeah. Makes sense. There's the chaff. I think the missile went for the chaff. The other one also went for the chaff. Dude. Okay, let's get those AIM-9s in play then. Salvo 2. Come on. Yeah, salvo fire. Get on with it. Come on. I know it's unorthodox, but get with the program, launch those missiles. We've got a hefty response now, but it's only rims and standard missiles. This AIM-9L is just a air-to-air missile. It's like they're looking at the target, but can't quite seem to figure out how to get at it. That's one, that's two. Excellent. Job done. Next opportunity will arise here. We already got a couple of rims in the skies. The game is gorgeous, though. There's just... I mean... The first time I had a ship looking into the sea, or, yeah, pretty much like that. Like a sunrise or a sunset, it just looks beautiful. Anyway, back to the rim. What is this missile gonna do? It's not getting fooled by the chaff, so you're dead. There you go. The other one is also dead. Excellent. Go home, Iran. Don't do that again. Okay, the submarine, Philadelphia. We're gonna raise the ESM mast briefly. Sniff out some radar signals, if they have any. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not detecting anything. Let's go down. I'm not sure how much they have going on here. Now, seeing as I don't have planes, scouting out is tedious. Let's get a helicopter away from the McCluskey here. Actually, I'll take 2. I wonder if the Iranians are using their submarines. They can. Yeah. Let's just preemptively launch a couple of ASW birds. Just start dropping sonobuoys. So what am I going to do with all these helicopters now? There's nothing really other that I can launch them with. I mean, anti-tank, anti-air, or close air support. So, I guess for the time being, go home. Hotkey for that's T, by the way. Way faster than having to go right-click, formation, or orders, return to base. Just click, press T, RTB. What scenario is this? This is the scenario where we have to escort a couple of tankers, which are lining up to go with the Bellewood, which is indeed one of those Tarawas, or Tarawas. And we're going to have to escort those through here towards the home free points. Oh, look. You still haven't seen the heli take off? Really? Let's have a look at that then. Here's the Reuben James and her helicopter. I'm going to zoom in all the way on the helo. Let's go to camera. Camera. I want to have a slow panning, yaw rotation, there. Come on. 0 is a bit low. 1's fine. Is it on the workshop? No, it's just a stock scenario. It's found under vanilla NATO scenarios. I forgot what name it was.
Contact detected.
New contact detected, alright. They said all DLC will be free? That would be interesting. There we are. Helicopter takeoff complete. Now the other helicopter is also airborne, you can see it right there. And I can now stop the cinematic camera and I can get this helicopter to start looking for trouble. You're going to be my combat scout. I'm going to fill up the space here with a radar detector, so you're going to go to 6,000. The other helo. I positioned all my escort ships as a wall, but thereby I might have prevented the aircraft from coming in, but they still potentially have submarines. So we're going to deploy a wall of sonobuoys. This should keep them all relatively into range, I think. Yeah, that's 5 miles. It's 5 miles. Okay, good. Click, 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 click. Get rid of those lines. Okay, so that's going to be 1 scout. You're the 6K scout, and you're going to drop sonobuoys. Let's go here, just to be sure. Although, if they wanted me dead with a sub, which has, let's say, 10-mile range on their torps, they probably would have done it by now. Okay, so you're going to drop here. Okay. You binged all the tutorials. Well, I hope they were helpful. Okay, you are gonna get retasked. Same for Cold 5. Cold 5 and 6. I want to see if I can actually get out there fast enough. I kind of doubt it, because a helicopter like that's fairly slow. But here's to trying. What are we gonna do with this sub? I feel like I'm wasting her potential, but there's nothing for her to do. How far is this? From here... It's 85 miles. Okay. You're gonna go below the layer. You're gonna go here. We're gonna just pop up after, I don't know, a few hours or something. Down you go. Increase speed to ahead standard. 65 miles out. I think our our cruiser has something to say about the fact that we have the... Oh, hold on a minute. This is something different. That's an AIM-54. Okay, so they got Phoenixes, I think. Let's go to 20 feet. Let's get these helos out of harm's way. There sure are a lot of helicopters that need to get out of harm's way. Based on track, where are they going? Quick question. My Phoenix missiles seem to miss most hits. They climb too high and then come down behind the enemy MiGs. I haven't seen that happen yet. I haven't had that happen. But that's definitely not how they should be behaving. Yeah, they're Tomcats. Are they planning to go more into the future? I don't know. I'm curious to see where they're going to take the game. I think they're going after Colt 5. Which means I got chaff. I might be able to defend myself. These things are probably linked to the Tomcat at this point. Stanley. You had a range of 40 miles. So we're almost there. An AIM-54 is not something I can intercept. What are you targeting? Definitely Colt 5. Some of those SH-2Fs, the Sea Sprites, they can turn very quickly. And that has gotten them saved sometimes. This, however, I'm not so sure. There's the chaff, automatically put down. Oh boy. You missed. I think these things are too fast for their own good. And by that I mean this thing is going down 1,300 knots. It has an altitude of 2,227 feet, so it doesn't have any time to course correct. And thereby they just splash. Unfortunately, that's not the end of it. Damn MiGs. Oh, sorry, damn F-15s. So what are you gonna try and find? You're at 40,000 feet, doing 2,000 knots. He is looking for something. He might be going for Colt 2? Also, this one is potentially still going to chase after Colt 5. Oh dear. Yeah, you're done for. Ooh. But you missed. God damn it, there's more. They just spend all their AIM-54s. Try shooting the incoming missiles. I think that's an interesting idea. There's another Colt dead. I'm not so sure you can do that. Nope. Cannot engage a track like that. So unfortunately that's not an option. Can we please shut down those aircraft? At this point it's too late because they've already done their dirty business, but... Oh, that splashed. This one? You're almost gonna crash right on top of the ship there, sir. Okay. At this point, those F-15s, sorry, F-14s have no business being here. I think this might just be a neutral airliner. But I don't have any units to try and check it out. Okay, let's go find those F-14s. There's one, there's two. Don't care about the flare, don't care about the chaff. You're dead. You did get fooled. There's the F-14. Which is launching another AIM-7. Can you stop killing helicopters? That would be lovely. Stanley, you ready for more? You are engaging, supposedly. I'm not seeing it, though. Get him. Okay, now we got the Rims airborne. Oh! Did we... Wow. We intercepted that with Sparrow. Interesting. Can we do that again? No, sorry. We intercepted Sparrow with Standard Missile. Can I single shot this thing? No. No, bad track. I can't do that. Interesting. Okay, there. Oh, you got him with a Rim 2F. Okay, fine. Colt 6 is down. The bad day for the helicopters of the Bellawood. Sliding back into the hangar. Okay, sonobuoys are coming online. Excellent. Philly is down in the depths, doing 15 knots. I can once again ask this thing if it would kindly identify itself. It does not. At least it's not coming for me, so that means it's most likely not going to be that big of a deal. Okay. Sonar buoy is coming online. You're dropping more of the buoys, but you're kind of dropping them in somebody else's AO. Okay, let's have a look.
Surface search on. Radar eye.
Nothing out there. MCON.
MCON secure all in. Roger. Turn.
Continue on your course. We're just gonna see what else is out there. I actually got a little surprised when I heard the buoy away sound for the Russian voice lines this afternoon, because they were shouting it panicked. I was like, what? Are you getting shot at? But no, it was just buoy away. Okay. They were just being very vigorous about it. There we go. You're going to continue dropping your buoys in the same fashion. Let's see, so the dividing line is right about here. Now that means that this is your AO. By doing it this way, I'm staying a little longer in range of the sonar buoys that I'm dropping. So hopefully with that I'll be able to keep listening out for them a little longer. As for this mission, this is probably going to take a long time getting to that home free point. We're expected to arrive here by 1839. That's in 16 hours from now. Good lord. Yeah, no Harriers. Unfortunately not. Not on this Belleau Wood here. So let's run the time times 50. 2013 faded. Oh, sorry, 7013 faded. It is doing weird things for an airliner. Really weird things.
Track 7038 is classified.
Oh.
Hostile warship.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. So that's a Bayandor. Not familiar with those. They got a Mark 34 gun with a range of 7 miles. Oh, okay. We already cool. We already got the harpoons in the air. My ships are getting a little vigorous because I have told them to be weapons free. So they're probably all readying their harpoons, which would overkill this ship. This thing is hostile. McCluskey, give me 1 harpoon.
Engaging track.
Engage.
7039.
Okay. Anything else from our airborne scout? No, nothing. Let's check this side out, because I don't trust this. There could be more. At least these things are not packing missiles, they're basically gunboats. That makes them less dangerous. I got a 40mm anti-aircraft gun. Can also be used anti-surface if you're feeling in a pinch. And we got the Zu-23. Very, very old. What's the deal with the enemy aircraft not going defensive when fired upon? I don't know. They just chaff and then continue on their path. I think the AI needs quite a bit of work. That is a bit of a concern because I don't want this game going stale because of the AI. I think the biggest priority right now is to get the AI to launch aircraft off of airfields, off of carriers. They don't do that. That's a bit of a waste. They need to do that. Because basically every scenario that you have that involves a carrier or an airfield on the enemy side, so on the AI side, you know that they're not going to do anything unless you add them in. Which I don't like. Oh, did I launch another? Oh crap, this Sea Sprite's been hanging around for a long time. Okay, fine. Go make yourself useful as a scout. Go to 3,000 feet. These harpoons. I think we can see a smokestack just up ahead. There's his friend? Unclear. It's 0247 Zulu, but over here it's 5:47, so it's sunrise time. For those of you joining the stream, or have joined recently, thank you for joining. I hope you're enjoying Sea Power, watching it and or playing it. I know that the price can be a bit of an issue. I don't want to... Well, I can't really speak too much about that, because it's not my department. I don't... I'm not in service of Microprose. I don't work... well, I work sort of for them in a freelancer role, but I don't have any influence on the price. Selecting a task force of 3 ships is weird. It feels like I'm forced to micromanage one at a time. No. Phoenix, if you have a task force like this... Let's say I want to manage the whole task force, and I accidentally clicked on the Qasim over here. Middle mouse click, and it's going to select the formation leader. When it does that, you can tell the whole formation what you want it to do. So you don't have to micromanage them, just middle click on any of the formation members, and that way you'll see that the formation immediately listens to what you want them to do. Here come the counter missile efforts. Good luck with that. Do those things even have chaff? Hold on, they're getting a radar warning receiver on the SH-2F? That's interesting. Right amidships. Hit. Kill. Next one. Come on. Oh, he got shaft. This one didn't. Not yet, anyway. Come on. Get rid of that ship. Something I found quite tricky when playing the game is figuring out how to make it balanced. How to make it... Well... How do you balance the side so that it doesn't become a bit of a curb stomp? I mean, this is a bit of a curb stomp. This is too easy. Because these things had absolutely no reason being here. They were never going to make it close. They never had a chance. They're just targets. Nothing else. If they would have sent a wave of aircraft with harpoons, yeah, that would have been a problem. If they would have sent submarines, I could probably have handled that. So I'd say that is a bit more balanced. But figuring out how exactly to get a balanced scenario... That is something I'm still working on. Just figuring out how to get something that's... It's not too difficult for the player. And yet, at the same time, is interesting to play. So that it doesn't simply become a cakewalk and you, well, kill anything that you happen to see, like these boys over here. This was an exercise in futility. Let's see if the Iranians want some more. At the moment, not so much. The UI and general management seem like the worst part of the game so far. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I think it is difficult to properly have a game that captures the depth of naval warfare without becoming overly stale. Without becoming overly... Oh, hold on. Found something. Without becoming a micromanagement disaster. And... I think Sea Power does a good job. I have not played Command Modern Operations myself, but I have seen videos on it. And what turns me away from that thing is that it is... Well, it's it's a sort of... Let's play Microsoft Excel. Missile away. Can you kindly rejoin your formation? I'm not sure what the Stanley and the Roberts are doing, but... I don't believe that that's what I had in mind. Hold on. Reuben James. Why am I seeing a missile come off of you? Oh, these boys are still weapons free. Okay, fine. I mean, this is complete overkill. This boat might cost less than this missile, let alone 2 of them. A bog hammer is what, like a machine gun and a rocket pod strapped to a speedboat? The HASEP-1, the MLRS. With a range of 5 miles, it's actually not terrible. And then they got the 12.7. Yeah, right. Sorry, sunshine. Not your day. You almost did get my helicopter, though. But this is kind of a problem that your ships, if they're this size, don't really show up that well on my radar. Because this guy is running his radar, and we're still not detecting him. That's how small he apparently is. Did I have the bug in the release version that some of your units and weapons do not show up on the map? Yes! I was quite surprised. I saw my ship launching missiles, and then I could not see the missiles on the tactical display, so I was wondering if that was me, or if the game was doing something weird. But I'm glad it's not just my game. Oh, we don't have enough sonar buoys for that run. You're out of sonar buoys. Okay, RTB. Do you still have birds? No, yours are deployed. Okay. Yeah, there's probably nothing left of that bog hammer after getting hit by 2 harpoons. Okay, gone. I hate this aircraft here. Because I think it's the Sentry. And I wonder if I can shoot it down with a helicopter. But I don't think I can get up to... No, I cannot get up to that altitude. I can get up to an altitude of 1/3 of that. I can get up to 10,000 feet, but nothing more than that. CH-46? Yeah, it's just a transport bird. I don't know what this does, actually. It carries chaff. Great. It's a transport helicopter. I guess that's a land war mechanic that's not fully implemented yet. That would be my read on the situation right now.
1, 2, 6.
Your helos have to refuel, correct. This, for example, it only has this much range left. This one has even less. So, yeah, they do have a limited range. I'm gonna tell this thing to just scout southeast and get on with it. You only have 4 sonar buoys left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This waypoint cannot be completed. The other helicopter is coming off of the... How do you pronounce that? The thatch? I think for now it's just going to be a bit of time acceleration. That's also where I feel that the game does need a bit of work, because time acceleration tends to destabilize the game. And yet, I don't want to sit here for the next 12 hours waiting for my ships to get there, because that would be a bit of a long stream. So I'm hoping that the optimization is going to be a bit of a higher look at that. Ship right there in the sunshine. I hope that that's going to be a bit of a priority, because the optimization, I'd say, needs work, preferably quickly. Okay, so you got 1 left. The helicopter should be up. You can continue the path here. Bonus is that I'm flying over my own sonar buoy net again. So I'll be able to listen and check the buoys that have already been deployed. You can deploy your last buoy, and then we're going to send another helo up. Do you still have another one? You do. Very good. Let's get that thing airborne. Cold Waters had the exact same issue. Oh, okay. Well, I'm hoping it's a slightly newer engine. So, potentially doesn't have that problem. But there are... Well, I guess there are a lot of moving parts. So potentially that's why we're seeing these units not necessarily perform as well as they should when there's time acceleration involved. What I find quite annoying, but that's a content creator thing. If I'm building, or if I'm running a scenario, and I am recording that, if the game crashes after 90 minutes of recording, I can toss the whole recording. That's annoying. Because that means I just wasted a lot of time. If you only have your plot open, you don't have frame issues. Oh, you mean it's a graphics issue? Okay, that's interesting. Philly. Go slow. Go above the layer. Philly's not picking up anything. Alright, ahead standard. Below layer. That helicopter's coming home after expending all of its fuel. Okay, he hasn't seen anything either. Let's get the Bella Wood to launch a helicopter, like a... I'm gonna pack that with tow missiles, why not? I'll take 2 of them. Oh, hold on, but they don't have... They don't have a radar. Stanley, I'm gonna need your Sea Sprite. That's the problem, they don't have a radar. How often do crashes happen? More often than I would like. More often than I would like. That a scenario where the game freezes. And potentially just comes to a grinding halt. I don't like that. How often does it happen? I think that depends on the type of scenario that you're running. I think it has to do with the type and amount of units that are in a scenario, so that are, let's say, being worked on. As for how often, like, I can't really speak to that. Because a scenario where I don't know, where you have 3 ships, it probably won't happen. Because it has no reason happening. Okay, I'm just going to use this as a visual scout. Those have range, good lord. Okay. And you are gonna do the same thing, but in reverse. I don't need that waypoint, strictly. And you already had another helo up. Let's go to 6,000. Okay. We do have to remember it's a new game. Yes, absolutely. All new games have teething problems, exactly. Hey Nikos, welcome. Okay, sonobuoy pattern deployed. We're running this at 30 times speed, so we'll be getting there sooner. Okay, go surf search. I think the Iranian Navy is done playing. Would I recommend the game? Yes, Jonas, I do recommend the game. I do really enjoy it. And there is, as far as, let's say, a game like this, there isn't really much like it. Yes, you have Command Modern Operations, you have Cold Waters, but that really only does submarine warfare. And yeah, I know that they've pushed the engine to also, using mods, include surface ships, but that's not what the engine was designed for, as far as I can understand it. So that means, yeah, it works, but only as much as the engine will allow. Sea Power, yeah, there's nothing quite like it. And I really enjoy it. As a content creator, it's not always... How should I put this? It's not always fun to be making content. Sometimes you just go, yeah, okay. The game is alright, but I don't really enjoy it. This one I do enjoy. And I actually look forward to working on new scenarios. Either making them myself or playing ones that I find on the workshop. And thereby just, you know, playing the game. Figuring out what other weird things I can do. Okay, your RTB. I think we have enough sonobuoys for a minute. Some of these will shut down in 50 minutes. That's 40 miles away. We'll arrive there in 3 hours. I might have to redo some of these sonobuoys. This seems like too much microing. Yeah, I get that. It is fairly micro-intensive. It can be. And I think it is less so in Command Modern Operations, or at least it can be less, depending if you're using the, what was it, the programmable something. You can program missions. And I don't mean a mission like an operation, such as the one they're playing here, but like deploy sonobuoys in this pattern. And right now I have to do that manually with every single buoy that I want to drop. And yeah, I'm using 30 times speed, as seen up here, so that's why it's running very quickly. Because I'm trying to get over there, and I'm not sure the Iranians actually have anything left. I'll keep the sea spread up here as long as possible. These can go home. Let's just scout out to the maximum range. And then go home. ETA still 1839. 1715. That's in 10 hours from now. Okay, I'm gonna have some divine intervention here. I'm gonna go and have a look at what the AI has left. Ah, okay. So we're not done. Sometimes I have seen with some of these scenarios that there aren't all the triggers that at least I would put in, so that you can have all the enemy forces eliminated, and then you still have to spend 10 hours sailing somewhere, which I think is a waste of the player's time. So in that case, I tend to have a trigger that says, oh, okay, you've killed everything, you've completed the mission. I think that's a bit more fair to the player. Because otherwise you're just kind of needlessly wasting their time. So sometimes I do check what the AI has left. I don't check where it is. I just want to know if the AI has anything left. Because if they don't, then, well, I might as well call it a win and continue on. Why is the Philly heading north? There you go. At 5 knots, they'll actually arrive pretty much at the same time. 2/3. It's gonna make me go there in about 4 hours. Now, using that F10 key is, or can be, risky. Because you kind of know what the enemy has. So in this case, I did see that they have Silkworm missiles. And that means that I know that there should be a missile that's capable of going after my ships if I venture close enough to the shore. So that can spoil it to some extent. But if you find that the enemy just has nothing left, then just continue on. Call it a win. And move on. Alright. Do you guys have any other questions about the game? Is there a sort of campaign? Not yet. They are working on a campaign. I think they said Q2 2025. So it's going to be a while before that campaign actually gets here. And it's going to be a dynamic campaign. Which sounds great, but I don't exactly know what they mean with that. If it is a campaign a bit like Cold Waters, then I think that'd be great. If it's a campaign that is going to allow you to, for example, buy additional ships, a bit more like War on the Sea, I would very much be in favor of that. The feature most lacking is damage control. Yes, I agree with that. The 2 teams per ship, yeah. Most of the time, if you get hit by an ship missile, you're dead. There's no coming back from that. The only thing that I have seen survive recently, I think, was in Crimson Tide from yesterday, where one submarine took 4 torpedoes and then finally said, okay, fine. Fine, we've had enough. But that was quite a lot of effort. It's a cool idea to have 1v1. One person is NATO, one is red. Yeah, definitely. The challenge that I see with that is how do you then deal with time acceleration? Maybe, well, maybe they could do it the same way as ICBM does. ICBM has this feature where you can play at, I think, normal speed twice, 3 times, or 4 times, and only if you want to go faster. If you want to go faster than somebody else is slowing it down, they're going to get a sort of penalty. And at some point the game is going to go, no, now we're doing it faster, until they slow it back down, and you have a sort of battery of time compression that fills up, if that makes sense. So that, I guess, could work in multiplayer. But if the game is not built for multiplayer, then I'm not sure if you can still force it in. because I think that the code for that might be difficult to add. I am afraid that we have reached the somewhat more boring part of this mission. This is also a part where you can get complacent, which is dangerous. Complacency leads to unnecessary sinking of ships, unnecessary loss of aircraft, such things. So I'm going to continue on with my duties and drop sonobuoys. Ye old buoy away. That ought to do it. Let's get another helicopter up. Do I enjoy replaying real naval engagements? Sure, yeah. If there are good multiplayer, if there are good realistic engagements, sure. You're coming out of the hangar. How many missiles do we have? Stanley has plenty of surface-to-air. The rest are not that spectacular. You still have a good amount of surface-to-air. Reuben James still has plenty. You got 5 harpoons. You have no harpoons. You have 6. You have full complement. You have 7. Ah, we should be sufficient. We should have enough. You're playing a lot of Sea Power. You have a little problem. You try to shoot at planes, your ship just zigzag and didn't actually shoot. Okay. That's unusual. The only explanation I can imagine is that the ship was using a missile such as a Beam Rider, which is a missile that looks for a radar return. At least as far as my understanding goes. Looks for a radar return and it rides the wave off of that radar. So let's say this aircraft is getting pinged by my radar. The missile goes, aha, now I know where to go. If you don't have your radar active, maybe they just won't launch. But I've had it also happen where ships just go and for no apparent reason, don't turn. Ah, here's the bug again. Here's the I don't see my sonobuoys bug, which is, well, a sonobuoy is a a weapon in this game. But I don't actually see my sonobuoys, so that will make this more interesting. Was the weapon in range? Yes, that's a very good question. 100 times speed. Still out there, but I still can't touch them. Well, actually. Get here. Can we invade Iran with 2 Vulcans? Look at me, I'm a submarine. Yeah, they might need to do something about that. Oh well. Is it a bug or a button I turned off? No, it's a bug. Because if you're looking at map layers, I have everything on except for weapon seekers and contact circles. So it should be there. It should be there. You can see that they are losing sonobuoys. They're dropping them. But they just don't show up. Which is actually quite dangerous. Not that I'll get my ship stuck in a sonobuoy, but I don't know where the sonobuoy is. Send it through the sea, cut through travel time. Yeah, why not? Might as well use the bugs. How long is that going to take? They don't have an ETA if I do that. Whereas if I go like this, they do come up with an ETA. I'm just not sure if that's today. Yeah, it's it's today, alright. So they got a long way to go. Okay, so just driving them right through the ocean doesn't quite work. And it's not like I can load them up on a helicopter or a transport ship either, unfortunately. But apparently shallows can be navigated. Okay, so you're about to drop your last sonobuoy. My picket is empty. The next picket is ready to go.
Roger.
See, the game is running a bit choppy now.
Turn 0.
This is 5 times speed. This is what I mean when I say I would like them to work on optimization. At 1 time speed, it's fine. At 5 times speed, it goes... And if you can also see it on the FPS. Like 22, 15, 22, 15. If I go back to the full map, maybe that changes. Yeah, it now stays fairly consistent around 22, 23. But this is less interesting to watch, I'd say. Anyway, I'm gonna call an end to this scenario because there might still be a few units left, like a Boghammer and 2 Beandors, but the rest is Silkworm sites. Like, how are you planning on using those? They're over there? Hold on. Where is that unit? So you're just... Okay. And the other one, was that underwater? No. Oh, they're all there. Why would you go here? A Silkworm has a range of 20 miles, 25? I have absolutely no interest in just trying to approach this far. Why would I go this close to the shore? That makes no sense. Let's not do that. Okay. Scenario over. Considered 1. The Iranians never stood a chance. Tom, thank you for the kind words. Okay, so I think it's only fair that we have another scenario, this time for the Ruskies. There aren't as many Russian scenarios, unfortunately. I have played this one. I don't think it's that good. Hunters are hunted. This one's interesting, but I think we've already done that. What sort of scenario you guys want to see? Let me know in chat. Oh yeah, Under Cover of Rain. That's the one where I ran into a minefield. Fun. Valuable target is very doable. I think this mission's quite good. Because it does allow you to see a bit more about... Well, not strictly how to best approach the game. But... yeah, let's run this. I think this will also help me illustrate some points. In case you are just getting into the game right now. Let's go with Valuable Target. Okay, in this mission, your primary objective is to find and sink a cargo vessel transporting military cargo of high value from US to Norway. Intel has information that this vessel is with a small escort and will be passing north of the Faroe Islands. Important, Kerch is your flagship. Do not lose it. Your flagship has a helo. You can use it to spot and identify contacts. It's not quite a tutorial mission, but I'd say it's fairly close. Because you do get 3 ships. Now, they all have their own role. We have the Storozhevoy, which is a Krivak 1 frigate. These are generally more suited to dealing with anti-submarines. Or, well, with dealing with submarines. They don't have any ship or anti-ship missiles. The SSN-14A is anti-submarine. And basically airdrops a torpedo out to 27 miles. So that's very useful if you're dealing with subs. Kerch, our flagship, is a Kara-class missile cruiser. This is more of a surface-to-surface combatant. Because it has the SSN-14B. Anti-surface and anti-submarine. And with that, you can definitely hit out quite far. And we have the Grozny, which, if you want to hit something out even farther, is your guy. Because this thing can hit out to 242 miles, but has a minimum range of 23. And that's packed in those very sizable missile tubes over there. We're first going to have to launch the helo, so let's get that airborne. The other ones don't have a helo, I think. No, they don't have a hangar. We're going to launch the helo. And once the helo is airborne, we're going to use it to scout. In case you are getting into the game, you are looking to stay concealed most of the time. Because basically whoever gets detected first probably has to dodge missiles first. So what I'm going to do is not use my radar. I'm going to stay MCON. I'm going to stay undetected. And that means I will not be able to see as much. I mean, the unit that you're seeing here Apparently we have him on radar. Hold on, who's using their radar? Grozny? Grozny. MCON. Stop the radars. That means I lose contact with whatever that is. Oh, hold on, did they change that? No way there's 2 aerial units at 10,000 feet just chilling out there. That is suspicious. That is suspicious. Now, I can have the Grozny at least ask this thing what it is. It's a merchant. And you? You're a merchant. Very kind of you. Let's upsize this a bit. Not so much that it folds over the game. We know that our target is coming up somewhere from the west. So that's where I'm going. But that's where I'm going with the helo. That's what I want my helo to check out. Now I want to have a brief air search burst with that radar. They're 19 miles out. What is that? Oh, it's an airliner. Oh, you're not part of a formation. Oh, okay. In that case, we're gonna have to form these things up. Create formation. Grozny, join that formation. Storozhevoy, join that formation. It's far easier to have formations than to have to work these ships all one by one. Formation editor. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is a good formation. I like this. Okay. Give you information leader, and you're going to continue on your merry course. Are you an airliner? They do not respond. This thing does. What the hell? Okay. I was not expecting that. There's 2 airliners flying side by side. At a range of 1 mile. Going almost the same course. Ooh. I think this might be to spoof the player into thinking, oh, that's hostile, I'm going to shoot that. And then the game's going to go, no, you cannot shoot. You cannot shoot that. Okay, so now we have our helicopter airborne. I'm going to turn off the radar on the surface ship. So we're no longer transmitting signals. We're also no longer detecting units beyond their own radar. This thing is E, so it's emissions. We're picking it up on its surface search radar. So this thing is using its own radar, and we're picking that up using the ESM, or electronic support measures, of the units that we have. What I do have is an active radar scout. And that's what this Ka-25 is going to do. But if I activate it here, it's basically a big red flag saying, hey, I'm over here. I am posing as a Russian task force. And I don't want that. So I'm going to keep this thing low. I'm going to keep it away from my ships. And only when I'm about, let's say, 15 to 20 miles out, then I'm going to pop up and use radar. Why are these... Can I still see the other guy? So he's over your right wing. He's 2 miles out and moving away. Oh, I'm going to do this to players as well in scenarios. This is just devious. Because the way that you can do this is pretend like there's a whole flight of aircraft coming at you. And the players are going to go, no way. Our airliner is going to work in tandem. We're going to fly in formation. So the player might be inclined to shoot them down. Anyway, we have a radar emission source here. At 22 miles. Let's have a talk. It does not respond. Okay. When I'm getting to about 20 miles, I tend to get a little jumpy, because that's when most surface-to-air missiles are getting quite dangerous. So let's give this guy a fairly wide berth until we know exactly what he is. He's doing 10 knots. That's not typical for a warship. Warships tend to go faster than that. Still, we're gonna just keep an eye on him. Something else that can help if you're just getting into the game and you want to figure out, okay, how do my units best work? Go to the big plot and then go, okay, I have the Grozny, for example, and I have surface-to-surface range of 242. That is so enormous you don't really have to draw that out. But my surface-to-air missile has a range of 16 miles. So what you can do then is click here and click on the Grozny and say, okay, my anti-air is 16 miles. So there. Any aircraft that gets into this range is going to get engaged by the Grozny. This way it starts to allow you to go, okay, so we're gonna bump bubbles here, which may mean that we're gonna start shooting each other. Doesn't have to, but it can. Okay, let's... Oh, they don't have the tactical display. Remember how big it was. That's unfortunate. Anyway, proceed. I think we're gonna have to kill whatever target we're after with this ship, the Grozny. Seeing as I have range, I'm not particularly in a hurry. I'm just going to slow down to a whole 6 knots. Those of you joining the stream, welcome. I am playing a Russian scenario after having just played a NATO scenario. So we're doing the Valuable Cargo 1. And I think that's a bit of a tutorial-esque mission. Although, I think this was the first mission that I did, and I absolutely got my ass handed to me the first time I played it. Much to the amusement and chagrin of some players, or some viewers. What I'm doing is scouting out ahead with the K-25. Thus, not giving my position away of the Kerch, which is my flagship over here. This thing is critical, it must survive. So I'm flying away with my K-25. And we're going to start to pop up to, let's say, 3,000 feet. The higher your radar dish is, which is I think there, the more likely you are to spot things beyond the horizon. 2,000 feet up, range 15 miles. The reason for this is that if you are going to get engaged, they don't really know where your actual surface units are, they just know where your helicopter is. Okay, so now we're going to briefly activate the surface search. Yes. Okay, if you start seeing things which are operating at the same speeds and or the same course, such as 090 at a speed of 19 knots, that is pretty suspicious, let's say, because that could be a formation. This thing is doing 26 knots, which kind of puts it outside of the scope of being a warship, but it's also doing the exact same course. This thing, exact same course. This thing's different. And also doing a different speed. So I'm going to have a chat with this contact here. And that's a merchant. I'm going to chat with this contact here. Which is not talking. Cannot communicate. Now, again, we're relatively close here. At the moment, I don't exactly know what this is. But I can assume that if it's doing 19, 26 knots, it's probably a hostile warship. So that's what I'm running with. I'm going to deactivate my radar. Stay dark. We now know kind of where these things are. No, I don't need that one. I just need the ruler. We're on a course of 090. You were on a course of 090. Oh, remove that. You used to be on the World of Warships team. Oh, nice. I still play that. Another one and another one. This way, at some point, your contacts will fade on the map. You can already see them faded because I don't really know where they are. I don't have a live track on them. And this means that I can still sort of estimate where those things are going to go. This thing, I still don't exactly know where it is. I know it's on a course of 079er, doing 11 knots, so it's going to be here in an hour or so. That's assuming it maintains its speed. So 11 knots at 079er. There. Okay. Let's just do another scout run. Take note that I'm not detecting their radar either. They're not running their radar. This thing is. Still unclear what that is. Does not respond. I don't think it's a warship. Because it's moving relatively slow for a warship at 10 knots. But sometimes radio contacts just don't respond whatsoever. Did the devs ever plan to add PvP? I'm not sure. Oh crap, they do remove the lines. I'm not sure. I believe there was some talk about it, but whether or not, let alone when that's going to get added, I don't know. Now, I've moved sufficiently to warrant activating the radar again. Hello, gentlemen. You guys are getting quite close. Range 28 miles. Oh. Okay. Some of these are going to be NATO warships. Some of these are going to be very dangerous. I am actually within the minimum weapons range of the Grozny. Because that SSN-3 can do 23.5 miles minimum. It will not launch if you have less than that. So even if I wanted to engage this contact... Like these, yes, I can engage, but we're almost getting to within minimum range. Also, NATO ships have the Harpoon, which have a range typically of 65 miles. Unless they're air-mounted, in which case you can drop them off anywhere. So what I'm going to do is try and get away from these things at flank speed. Goodbye. We're going to run. I'm going to try and stay outside of their potential missile range. So we're going to turn the whole formation around. Right off into the sunset. And for now, I'm not seeing any responses here. Okay, let's go MCON again. Change course. Don't be predictable with a helicopter or any other unit. I know you're not fighting a player, so they're not that clever. But I like to err on the side of caution rather than lose a unit unnecessarily. What are you? Merchant. You guys are awfully close for merchants. Okay. So now we're moving at 28 knots. Okay. Let's run the helo again. There they are. This thing is still heading away. This is probably not a combatant. As for my target, one of these two was going to be the target. I just don't know which one. And annoyingly, they're not running their radar. Because if they were, I could use their radar signatures to detect what sort of radar they're using. And as such, what sort of contact I'm dealing with. Because I can classify ships based on the type of radar that they have. So that's a bit of a problem for right now. This thing is still using its radar, so we're picking up their emissions. Their EM emissions. Let's have a look at what this thing is down here. Visual, semi-large, merchant. Cool. Not a problem. Now I can get a little closer, but I don't want to get too much closer, lest NATO decides that my life has gone on long enough. Oh, we got him on visual. That's interesting. Now, I can't make out a ship on the horizon, but this helicopter can. But then again, helicopters can spot cruise missiles from 20 miles out, so, you know. Maybe their eyes are far better than mine. And they do that visually. The problem is, I won't be able to properly identify them using visual. Yeah, visual. That does not mean your confidence is going to get increased. Oh, never mind. We have them identified. So this is a Spruance and this is a merchant. Considering it's a hostile merchant, armed, well, not armed, but packing a couple of paladins and Humvees, this is our target. The problem is that Spruance is guarding it, and so is that Adams, and so is probably whatever else is down there. In this case, I'm going to start running a plan. See, they can hit me out to 25 miles if they want to. But they're not using radar, so they probably don't know where I'm at. And this is going to be the end of them. Because they don't run radar, they will also not know that there are going to be missiles inbound. Unless somebody informs on them, but that generally doesn't happen. Now, this Spruance is capable of using RIM 7s. That's the missile block up there. They have another launcher. No, they don't. This thing essentially has 8 missiles, which are ready to go, and then they have to reload for half an hour. So I can kind of jump these. In this case, I think it's time to end them. So we're going to use those missiles. And I can sink the whole formation if I want to, but my target is that merchant. I want to send a salvo of 4 missiles after that merchant. Execute. At this point, your ship can start changing its course because it's trying to line up a shot. And that's, in this case, going to turn and probably get its missile launchers up and ready. Not sure which ones it's going to pick. These are, I think, autonomous missiles. Active radar homing. They have their own radar. I can't even radio command mid-course them. So that means I can have the missile in the air and I can tell it, sort of, like, hold on, dude, your target has changed. Your target's over there. I cannot change the target. It's not like a torpedo where you can just say, okay, stop. I need you to change course entirely. Get me the camera. And let's have a look. Camera on. There we go. 1 away. 2 away. 3 away. And 4 away. And all this without using my own radar. I am not interested in using my own radar. Unless I'm using the one from the K-25. Which at the moment I simply don't really need because I have them on visual. I can just see them. I mean, supposedly. Alright. These missiles are going to continue on their path. They are linked to the Grozny. So, yes, they can be guided to some extent. It is possible that if I lose the link, they'll go for something big. So they could hit the Spruans. If that happens, well, best not be aboard the Spruans, I guess. Missiles airborne. Speed this part up. Ah, there's another one. What is the ARS sensor? Active radar seeker. Oh, my missile detected it. Oh, that's very useful. So the missile detected it and went, hey dude, I'm spotting something. So I basically have 4 more active radar platforms flying out ahead of my fleet. I guess you could use that as a detection platform. If you are interested. Oh, he's firing. I guess it could work. Bruins is probably going to change course. Their radars are now active. They have spotted the missiles. There's another standard missile going up. I cannot see the standard missiles because these things probably cannot detect an incoming missile. But they are getting intercepted. That's why I launched a volley of 4. I was expecting them to get a bit farther than this, though. But at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if they intercept all of them. There's another one intercepted. I'm trying to conserve missiles, but that was probably the wrong choice here. I should have just sent all 8 and be done with it. But this Adams is proving ridiculously efficient. All missiles were intercepted. Okay, fine. I still have 4 anti-ship missiles left with that range. We also have 8 of those SSN-14Bs out to 27 miles. So that means we're out of range. That's unfortunate. Okay, new plan. We're going to change course. We're going to push in. That Adams is now running its radar. Its range is 28 miles. I should be safe from it. But I'm not so sure if I'm safe with the helicopter. Go down. I'm gonna push this helicopter down. Yeah, now we lost the contacts because I can't see them anymore. Okay. Keeping in mind that Adams does have those missiles and can hit me at to 25 miles. So let's give this guy a new, let's say, warning profile. There, this circle. No, not that one. I'm going to say you are going to get a radar or a warning of about 25 miles. That's the anti-air range that they have. It's quite significant. And yes, some ships can do it better. This Bruins has a range of only 14 miles, so the Adams is definitely their better bet. Can I ever do my mission Arctic Spear? Sure. Not tonight though, because it's quite a long mission. At this point, 22 miles out. I want to pop up, go to 3000. We got a visual on the other contacts. Yeah, you're right, Aftertaste. I should have launched missiles at the Adams. That's the Adams. They're now running at full speed at 26 knots. And I found that sometimes units can go faster, but don't. Simply because of the weather conditions. Okay, so you're now 25.8 miles out. We're going to push this guy back. I'm going to send him a spread of 4 of these missiles. These are, I believe, autonomous. Yeah, they're radio command. Oh, they're heat-seeking? Interesting. There's 1, 2, 3. That's these big missile tubes up there. Next one opening. You'd think. Did we launch 4? We launched 2. Where's the other ones? Oh! Crap. I cannot guide any more of these missiles. That's the problem. That's the problem. I cannot guide any more of these missiles into the target. So the Rozovoy has the SSN-14As, which are not as advanced as the Bs. The Bs can target surface ships, the As cannot. So, at this point, it's possible that these missiles will also get intercepted. Although they are flying lower, I think, and thus might be more difficult to intercept. How do I make planes continue attacking? Your planes break off after firing the missile. Down here with a plane, much like with a ship, you have the buttons for the weapons. Click on that and then right-click the target, and they will continue. If you want to fire more than one missile, for example, I can have right-click here and I can say salvo 2, 4, 8 or single shot. The Adams might not know what's up. I don't know how effective these missiles are, though. Because it's basically a torpedo strapped to a missile. You changed target. Crap. You don't have range for that, you numbnuts. You can't get there. Oh. And now you changed course again. You're also changing course. You got intercepted. Crap. Seawiz should start blaring away right about now. Is it not? Okay, in that case, good luck with that. Okay, so he is now most likely going to be pretty badly burned. Might die. This other ship over here is taking some evasive action. Yeah, I don't think that ship's going to survive that. Oh, now? Shit. Now you're launching additional missiles. Weapons hold. Otherwise he's going to launch the additional missiles, which I do not want him to do. So let's not do that. Adams doesn't have Seawiz. Oh. Well, that's a budget error that they're now going to regret. I don't think this Adams needs more help sinking, but okay. Missiles are already airborne. I can't stop them anyway. Nor can I... Well, actually, I can task them with a different target. Okay. I guess they changed that, because you didn't used to be able to do that. Unfortunately, they don't have the range. Because I'm 28 miles out. They have a 25-mile range, right? 27. Ooh, it's going to be right on the edge of it. Right on the edge of it. The Adams is done for. No, 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 no. Crap, I lost the radio signal. So, yeah, he's going to... Yeah. No joy there. You can already see the other surface ship trying to respond to that. Okay, why not? Salvo 2, this ship. Salvo 2, the other ship. Let's go. Let's run the radar for a second. Oh, we are. Get closer. That Adams and its NTR bubble is gone. So the NTR bubble for the NATO group is now 14 miles. Unless this turns out to be hostile, but I don't know about that yet. You never know. Grozny 1, 2, 3, 4. Missiles away. These guys are going to be hard pressed because they don't have that many missiles left. That's one. And two, they're going to spend a lot of time reloading if they are going to try and reload. Okay, we're sea skimming. 8 miles out. Yeah, that's a warship, alright. That's sending missiles up. Could be a Perry. Because they're pretty much everywhere. I could get one missile to go after the Perry, but I think it'll get intercepted. Oh, crap, they got another SSN-3 shot down. Come on. There's their ship, and there's the target. I'm just seeing gunfire for now. Which means maybe they've run out of missiles. But that Perry, assuming that's what it is, definitely has not. Considering it's due west of this missile, or rather south, that's a hostile ship. So the problem is now going to be, what else am I going to use to take out this ship? This cargo ship, because that still needs to go. And I'm running out of longer range solutions. Quickly, I should say. You don't have any ship-to-ship missiles anymore. You do. This is turning into an interesting scenario. Surface to air. Also surface-surface with a range of 30 miles. The SAN-3 Goblet. The SAN-4 is shorter range at 8 miles. Okay, fine. I'll send a couple of those SAN-3s with a salvo of 2 at the target over there. Preparing. And you have the SAN-4, so that's a shorter ranged option. Outside of that, you don't really have that many options. You're gonna have to gun them down. Which is kind of old-fashioned. Grozny is in a similar situation. It does have the SSN-3. Sorry, no, it had the SSN-3. The SAN-1 only has a range of 16 miles. So it's kind of limited. Also, these are surface-to-air missiles, so, you know, it's not great as a solution. Why are we not launching these missiles? Radio command. No guidance? How do they get to the target then? At this point, I am exposing myself to the enemy, so it's possible that we'll start seeing missiles come in from them as well. Which will make this a lot more interesting. Hostile air. Oh, yeah, I know who you are. I know who you are. We are in range. What's the problem? Do they have less surface range? Don't think so. Curious. Let's see what the ship's gonna do. Mostly rocking back and forth, but I want to see missiles, not fancy maneuvers. Am I USA or USSR? I'm USSR. How can I counter torpedoes? I killed the sub, but right as I won, they sunk one of my ships. How to kill a torpedo, please, with ships. Send a ship into it. That'll kill the torpedo right quick. No, more to the point. If you have a NATO ship, your best bet is to dodge. You don't really have a whole lot of other options. If you are playing as Russia, sometimes you get the RBU 6000, which is a weapon that can be used against submarines and torpedoes. They will launch them automatically. Oh, hold on. I know why it's not shooting. I told it to weapons hold. Weapons tight. That's probably why. Silly me. Yeah, okay. Anyway, if you got a torpedo on you, yeah, you're gonna have a very difficult time trying to get rid of a torpedo. Dodge, turn, pop a noisemaker, and pray. That's pretty much what you can do in a scenario like that. Can we pretty kindly launch these missiles? Roger, engaging. Well, that, I'm not seeing it. Weapons free. Grozny over there. Storozhevoy to starboard. We're gonna line up in a bit more battle formation. Oh, here we go. Aim 54. I only have one aerial target, so they're going for my helicopter. We're gonna pop right back down. MCON. This thing still has a long way to travel. Course 037. Current position there. Course 037. Means it's definitely going to try and get my helicopter. The seeker cones for these things are pretty awful. So I'm going to turn away. I'm going to go down. And they probably won't catch me. Probably. If you're feeling enthusiastic, you can also try landing. Oh, there we go, finally. You can try landing, but I don't think I have enough time quite for that. Okay, hello, Perry. How are you doing? Missile is wagging its tail. That's an incoming missile from the Perry. Come on. Have at it. It's just that I don't know how devastating these missiles are going to be. Oh, you got chaffed. Idiot. This missile is looking for the target. It's on a new course of 029, so it's still going for the helo. I don't think I can shoot that down with any of my ships. Yeah, I cannot shoot that down. So... ah, we hit the track, finally. We hit the Perry. Excellent. This guy... once again clashing down at 1334 knots. Change course. Pop up. I don't know if that'll work. Please don't kill me. Haha. Gotcha. Okay. So you can dodge M54s. They're not spectacular missiles. One of my ships just randomly decide to beach themselves because the let's say the collision avoidance is not great at current. Okay, we're gonna have another missile go out to the moon, I guess. Can we just put a few more missiles onto that target right there? Just kill the Spruans. Oh, you're sending an SSN-14B. Oh crap, they're trying again. Down. Down, 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 down. Get out of here. I've been trying to play, but the game crashes every 10 minutes. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. That is weird. Ah, crap. They got the helo. We got one SN-14B in the air, one SAN-3. I wouldn't be surprised if that Spruance is reloading, and that Perry probably is in no condition to help him out. Yeah. So that Spruance has serious issues. Now we're going to throw another SSN-14B against that surface ship right there. Because that's my ultimate target. Is China in the game, Gold Turtle? Not presently. I don't think so. But I can have a look in the mission editor after this one's done. Hit. Good hit. Let's retest this one to go for the cargo ship, because that's the ultimate target. That's the one that needs to go. So far we have sunk at least a few ships, and the Perry probably is dead. The Spruance has seen definitely better days. And here's your valuable cargo. Well, here's my cargo. One torpedo. Hit. We got another SAN-3 coming in. And another SSN-14B was just launched. Silex. I don't think we'll need a whole lot more on the Spruance. I can give him one more missile just for good measure. But really, this is the thing that you need to kill. Hit. Is that enough for that ship, or... we need to hit him again, because they're badly, badly burning. Oh, crap. That's a harpoon. Somebody got a harpoon off. It's not the Spruance, it's not the Perry, it's somebody else. Shit. Who's throwing harpoons at me? This is going to be a lot more interesting right now. Kirch, you need to defend yourself. Preferably now. Because if this ship dies, then I lose the scenario. Where did this come from? SAN-4 away. Grozny. Surface search, air search. Storozhevoy, surface search, air search. Get it. We got enough SAN-4s. Nope, no joy. Seawiz. Seawiz is not getting it. Oh god, it's in the pop-up phase. Shoot it! Oh! That was too close for comfort. Jesus. The Spruance doesn't have... no, it does have harpoons. Maybe it got a harpoon off. Maybe. Yeah, this thing is going down by the bow. There we go. Target's been destroyed. Cargo will not reach its destination. Mission success. Took me a few more missiles than I wanted, but I got the job done. Oh, there's still that aerial contact out there. That's the F-14. Okay. Range 30 miles. We catch that? Got a range of 29. I'm willing to try. He's not. He's already turning away. Of course, 327. 322. Missile away. I don't think we have the energy on that missile to actually catch that. Oh, there's the bug again. I can't see my own weapons. Unfortunate. There. You can see them launching, but I should be able to track them on the tactical display. Yeah, that's a new bug. I'm not sure how they got that into the game. Nah, his range is 29 and he's moving away. I don't think we'll catch that F-14. I'm willing to give it a minute for the missile to arrive, but I don't think so. We hit the Spruance again instead. Poor thing. Okay. Oh well. Okay, mission success. Exit. I did lose one K-25PL, but they lost the Berkeley, which was an Adams. They lost the Perry, they lost the Spruance, they lost the important... sorry, the improved C4 class. Such is done. Complete. Done. Alright. Let's see. There are no bugs, only features. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Let's see if there's any more interesting scenarios on the workshop that are getting added. I really like that feature. I already have a couple of my scenarios up there. And that does very easily allow you to download new missions. The old ways is Brother Monroe. Oh, there's also a GRAU weapon index, so that the missiles are going to get renamed from the NATO designation to the Soviet designation. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think there's too many more scenarios that I haven't seen yet. Most recent? Well, there are a few new scenarios. Interesting. Interesting. It's really nice to see more scenarios come up, because I want to have more things to play. This one is Crocodile Tactics. The Russians are out in force and they're trying to break out of the Baltic Sea. The main fleet is currently with his hand full in the North Sea hunting Russian submarines. You're tasked to ambush the enemy in a narrow passage between Malmo and Odense. I like that. Let's download that. And I'll probably have to relaunch the game in order to get the mission. It could be this one. Yeah, I think it might be. Except, yes, relaunch the game. You don't know what the weapons are if they rename them. No, it's fine. It's just a mod. So you can use it or you can just ignore it. It's optional. If they're going to add Arleigh Burkes, then they need to add Hornets and LAs. Yes, I would agree with that. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, that other people will. Which one is that? Norwegian is one of my... These are all my scenarios. The scenario is called Crocodile Tactics. Let me relaunch the game. Relaunch the game. And see if that gets the mission into the game. Should fix it. Most of the time if you're downloading content, it just means relaunch the game and you'll be fine. It'll fix it. So what are your guys' thoughts on Sea Power so far? Did you get it? Are you playing it? Are you going to wait for early access to complete? Are you going to see how the game is progressing? Is this your new primary game? Let me know. I'm looking forward to seeing your opinions. All somebody has to do is read Red Storm Rising by Tom Clancy and we'll have a field day making content. Yeah, definitely. There's definitely enough inspiration there. No, not options. Mod Manager. So it is considered downloaded. Then where is it? Scenarios. Is it that one? Strawberries can kill. Yeah, that's when I adapted a bit. Is it this one? Play. Downloading this evening. Still downloading. You got the game. You're doing the gauntlet now, 30 minutes in. Yeah, letting the helo fly ahead, spotting surface search. Good plan. Don't risk your surface assets, just risk a helo. It's far less dangerous. I'm not sure what mission we're going to see right now. I hope that this is the Crocodile Tactics that I just pulled from the workshop. Small disappointment. No in-game tutorials, only videos. Yes. Yeah, I think they're still working on the tutorial missions, but they probably didn't get them completed before the game was released. Messing around with the game, but missing saves. Yes. Yeah, Mark, we need a save feature. Lacking that, especially some of the larger scenarios, are difficult to complete. Also because the game tends to not be as stable as I would want. I think this scenario doesn't want to load. No, that scenario does not want to load. Okay, fine. I'll just play another scenario. Not much of a player, mostly a watcher, and that works. For those of you who do not yet have the game, are there any ships or things like that you want to see? Just have a look at them, whether they're in the game or not. How many gigabytes does the game require? According to Steam, of course, you can also look this up yourself, what the specs are. Good lord, that's loud. What does this game need? It says it needs 16 gigabytes of RAM. It says it needs 20 gigabytes of storage space. So it's actually not that bad. What does it cost today? Go to the Steam page, because it'll translate it to your local currency. I can say what it is in euros, but that doesn't really matter much if you're in a different location. Okay. Pretty much the Royal Navy. Yeah, there isn't that much Royal Navy, unfortunately. Not at the moment. If you're looking at the nation of the Royal Navy, United Kingdom, you got battle destroyers, C-class destroyers, and Z-class destroyers, and that's it. So there isn't that much going on with the Royal Navy, at least not yet. As for China, it's not there. You got Cuba, you got East Germany, you got Egypt, but no China. So that's something that's still going to get added, most likely. Need to add Ohio class subs. Are those not in? No, we got the Oscar, but not the Ohio. Okay. No other O classes. That time I got jumped by the Cobbett class. Good lord, that was annoying. Those things are so sneaky. What does Germany have? Looking at surface vessels. Germany has a few units, not that many. I added most of them to the scenario where I had the German ambush. So they got the Lütjens destroyers, which are fairly old, but still definitely feasible. You got the Standard Missile 1, medium range, so 24/6. You got harpoons, you got the RUR-5 in case you're dealing with the sub, Mark 46 and Mark 42 guns. So they're pretty decent ships. And they got the Tiger class in case you want to sneak up on something and throw harpoons at them. But I find that the harpoon is a bit of a... Sorry, the XS set. It doesn't have that many... It doesn't have that much going for it. It doesn't have the range. And that's a problem, because it has a third of the range of the harpoon. So the only thing that you can count on is your small profile, because everything else means you're going to get outranged by pretty much every Soviet missile in the game. That's a problem. As for their submarines, they do have some of those. They got the Type 205, 206, and I think for planes, you're looking at F4s. No, you're looking at nothing. They don't have any aircraft. So they got nothing in that department. Unfortunate. You're really hoping for the dynamic campaign, Dredge? Yeah, me too. I want to see what that's like. I want to see what they have in there. As for France, they got aircraft, just the F1. As for French vessels, I don't think there's much, if anything. There's nothing. There's no French ships. French subs, I think there were... There was one? Yeah, the Daphne class. Patrol sub. Capable of launching the E-15. Only 8-mile range, passive sonar homing to anti-surface torpedo. Only anti-surface, does not do anti-submarine. Wait, is an unusual 55cm heavyweight anti-submarine torpedo. This is anti-surface. Okay, I'm going to report that to the devs, because that is a bit contradictory. It's either one or the other, but typically not both. Well, some can be. What's the capability of this torp? Anti-surface or anti-sub? The text is unclear. Text is unclear now. There. Is there already a release date for the saving function? Not that I know of. Unfortunately, not that I know of. How easy is the editor? How long you usually take to make your own missions? Depends. It really depends. I can throw a mission together pretty quick. Like, let's say... where are we gonna fight? West Coast US. Fine. Let's say we have a West Coast US fleet. They're moving east. I can say I want to have a US fleet. So say a couple of vessels. We're going to get a couple of destroyers. I'm going to throw in a Spruance. I'm going to throw in a Ticonderoga. And I'm going to throw in an aircraft carrier. So let's say a Nimitz. There. Always when you're building a formation, go with Formation Editor. If you don't, then this will happen. And I hope that this is going to get fixed, because it's it's a bit stupid. But, oh, actually, they fixed it. Never mind. They fixed it. What used to happen is that all ships spawn right on top of each other, which is less than ideal. There, the save as or load is currently blacked out. So it is in the game, but it's work in progress. Anyway, I have this surface group here, and I don't really have to do anything with it. I just have to see, do you want to play blue or red? In this case, let's say I'm blue. I'm defending the coast here from a formation of landing ships. So let's say the Russians are going to be here. I'm going to say this is a USSR fleet landing with a couple of Ivan Rogovs, escorted by a Kashin, escorted by Komars. They've come a long way. Escorted by a Moskva, and escorted by a Slava. They're heading that way. Always, when you're trying to use the mission editor, check what the range is, because sometimes it can get real tedious. Like this is 500-mile range. That might not seem like a lot, but if you're looking for closer engagements, that is a heck of a range. The problem can be balancing it. Because if I push the range like this, now we have a range of about 300 miles. That means that if you're looking at some of the bigger Russian warships with their big missiles, they might already be in range of the American fleet. The Americans can only defend, they cannot touch them yet. Although, of course, the Nimitz can launch aircraft. So that means you will be able to strike back, and basically whoever sees the other party first is going to get shot at. In this case, I think this is an okay range to start. If you are happy with the scenario, you can just run it as is. You don't have to set up any triggers, but that means that the mission will never end, really. What I tend to do is set up a mission trigger, for example, in this case, blue win. Then you add a condition, and the condition says only use this, or only, let's say, trigger this event, because the trigger name's not quite right, I'd say. I'd say event is more apt. This condition means only fire this event when something happens. So I'm going to say blue wins when landing ship's dead. So now I have to specify what that is. What's the condition type? Condition type, unit destroyed. Okay. What units? You don't have to touch any of these things. This is for setting up the time. This is for setting up a condition position, which we don't need. And what we do need is what are the action units. So what are the units in the group of this condition? It's this one, and that one. I can let the rest of them live, but I want to prevent the invasion of the US, so-called. And then I can say this is going to post a message to blue. Congrats, you've won. Ta-da. Once you've done that, you can go to victory and say this is a victory trigger for blue. And that's pretty much it. That's your trigger. So now if you kill the landing ships, the game is going to say, you did it. You did it. You completed the mission. If you want to also have a I'm going to get defeated condition, you can say, let's say red win. The condition is they have killed the carrier. So I'm going to say Nimitz dead. That's going to be a unit destroyed. It's going to be of the group, of group 1. And they've killed the Nimitz. So now the condition is the Nimitz has been killed. It exits the mission. It's a victory trigger for red. And I'm going to say message. You've lost. The Nimitz has been sunk. There. And this way you can set up the scenarios. You don't have to use the triggers if you don't want to. If you just want to test something out, the mission editor is very handy for that. And keep in mind, you can have battles happening all over the place. You can have a war going on here, and at the same time be managing a submarine battle here. So let's say, I don't think Syria has any submarines. The USSR has an Echo 2 there. And we're going to put the other submarine right on top of it, 25 miles. I'm going to say this is a USA Los Angeles class. And now I can run it. These two are going to be sort of a separate battle. They're playing their own fight. And with that, it does force you to focus on different areas, which isn't great. There, we already have it detected. Also, if you don't specify a course for your units, they're just going to head due north. So in this case, I have to fight both this submerged contact, and I have to consider how am I going to fight that other ship. Or those landing ships, rather. Can you have alternate endings like a draw? Sort of. What I have done in one of my scenarios is just put a hard timer on it. And that way you force the end of the scenario. I think that was... Which one was that? Atlantic Shield. That's the one. Atlantic Shield has the 3 different search zones. And I've set a time so that the mission ends on timer. The condition is it ends in 6 hours. Period. So you can just have the mission terminate like that. And you can say this is an exit mission. You don't get a victory, strictly. But you do get a victory if you sink everything. Blue win. All submarines destroyed. So that's the trigger I've set up. If all submarines are dead, all the Soviet ones, then you're going to get a message that says, congratulations, blah, 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 you've eliminated everything. It's going to say you have a exit mission, and it's a victory trigger for blue. Something else that I really like to do in scenarios as much as possible is, for example, the RNG spawn chance. Over here, this alpha has a 90% chance to spawn. It might not spawn every single time. The K-21 has a spawn chance of 100. The K-53 has a spawn chance of 100, because otherwise you're letting a player search for nothing. There's nothing out there, which is a waste of your time, but it could be more realistic. This one has a spawn chance of 60%. I'm not sure why that's 0.04, but okay. So, in this case, I think I also did it for blue. Yeah, the Baltimore also has a 60% spawn chance. So you can do it for both sides. And this way you can add a variety to the missions. You don't always get the Baltimore. You don't... Well, you always get the Indianapolis over here. Is the SSN-19 the best anti-ship missile in the game? Yeah, I think so. It seemed nearly unstoppable. It can be stopped if you jam it. If you throw an ECM jammer at it, or an electronic warfare at it. Anyway, another trigger you can have, which is quite useful, is a briefing. And the briefing is just usually for me, time. So, this thing, setup date and time for the condition, that's when this becomes grayed out or not. It basically says after 0 seconds, throw the briefing at the player. Which, in this case, is a message. And that message is going to present itself as a pop-up. Not all the missions in the game have this. Mine missions do. So you can find that when you play the mission. So when this mission fires up, you can immediately see, ta-da, there's your mission overview. This does mean you cannot really control the game beyond using the time controls. It will not let you unpause it unless you click this away, but this means you get the information. What's the mission objective? What are the operational considerations? And I tend to have quite a lot of this done by ChatGPT. I tend to work closely together with it and just adjust things as I see fit, and sometimes it suggests that I don't strictly have the right ships, so I adjust the text. But that's how I typically set up my scenarios. I come up with a scenario, I figure out what units would be fun or interesting or suitable for that particular site. And then I plan that, throw them into their specific regions. And in this case, throw up a briefing, set up some triggers when you win, when you lose. And that way you can have your own scenarios. And again, I highly, highly encourage you to put those on the workshop, which is very easy. Let me also show you how to do that. Yes. If you have the mod manager here, you can create a mod, because that's basically what it is. So in this case, you're going to pick a folder, and your missions will most likely be under user, and then missions. You can find those on your PC. In this case, I have added all of mine to separate folders. So you got the Airborne Sub Hunt, it has its own missions folder, and then it has its own mission file. All you need to do is select the top level and go open. Then you can add your name, a description potentially, pick an image for it. Has to be a square image, and then you publish it, and that's it. That's all you need to do. If you need to then figure out, oh crap, something went wrong, update existing, and you can select any of your missions which are tied to your Steam profile and adjust those as such. Alright. Any last questions? Because I'm going to have to end this live stream right about here. I hope you are enjoying Sea Power. Whoops. I hope you're enjoying Sea Power. I really like the game. I do encourage you to buy it because I like it, and I think it's only going to get better. Yes, we might have new bugs, older bugs, some bugs, but we'll probably also have additional warships, additional units make it into the game, air forces, submarines, land units, and I think it's more of a sandbox. You can do so many missions, so many scenarios, so many plans, so many mods. So yeah, there's a lot to play. Still Guns, you're making a Channel Dash 2.0. If you're interested, yes, absolutely. Send it over. I'd be very interested in taking a look at that. You can reach me at stealth at stealth17gaming.com. There's my email. You can send the mission there, although I'm not sure if any file is going to be allowed to send over email. Otherwise, just put it up on the workshop and link me that. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Quite a lot of viewers at this time. So I hope that I was able to give you a Sea Power fix for the moment that you were unable to play it for yourself. If you have any further questions, please post them. If you have any tutorials that you might like me to build, by all means, let me know. And I'll see what I can cook up for you. Thank you for watching. Good luck on the high seas. You might need it. Talk to you guys soon.